Mics are coming. Good.
Hello, everybody. Today we're here with Dr. Manish Das. He's written three books with Inscribe. So overall, we're very glad to have him here at the book fair, and we're gonna ask him a few questions about his book as well.
Thank you for inviting me out here. It's really a great pleasure to be here and to be a part of the World Book Fair 2026, as this platform really helps the aspiring authors to display their thoughts in the format of book, ebooks, as well as to exchange their views, concept, and moreover, I always believe authors should be recognized worldwide. There are lots of big world book fair is also becoming a part of this world. As we all know, World Book Fair is coming out with new aspiring authors, good speakers out here. And here, as I can see, more than 3,000 plus stalls out here and great speakers. And it's really great opportunity for me out here to get my book being displayed out here.
We're glad to have you as well.
And thank you so much for inviting me out here.
So we'll start with the podcast, right?
Okay.
The first question: You've written on environment, yoga, and manhood. Three very different subjects. What common thread connects all your work?
Well, these books are my recent books, as I have to say. Initially, I've started my book author journey in the year 2022. In 2022, when I completed my PhD, my doctorate, many people have asked me, why don't you write book? Initially, I have written a book on Assam Municipal Corporation Act, which helped Dibrugarh, from the place where I belong, help become second city after Guwahati, and also help. And after that, the journey started. Regarding these three books, which are very recent to my heart, A to Z in Environment, I started in the year 2025, when in the month of March, I was being invited as a resource person in Guwahati High Court Advocates Association. And within a few days, I made a presentation and it was highly appreciated. And at that time, I realized that environment has become such a integral part of our society as well as our life that we cannot ignore at all. So we have to do something for the society at large. And because of that, I've written a book, A to Z in Environment, where I can help the society, because we can't say we are away from this environment. It is a part of our life. We used to plant trees, we need to save water. And with the help of AI, that's why I mentioned the book A to Z in Environment with AI. That means with the help of artificial intelligence, what are the things we can do to safeguard this society, the environment at large, and what are the parameters we can take, like the use of solar energy, rain harvesting, and many other things, and the laws, because we are abide by the laws of the country. For that, we really need to know what are the environment protection laws are there, and how we can rejuvenate and how we can connect globally, because environment is something globally recognized. And I would like to thank to God for selecting me for writing this book, and the fortunate enough that my book got selected for London Book Fair. Last year it has went, thank you, and in London Book Fair moves over the United Kingdom tour, and it was the only book from Assam to get listed in London Book Fair. Moreover, it has been to many other book fairs, but this is very special for me for the London Book Fair. After that, as I knew, because as you know, the environment is good, but for a good environment, we also need to have a good health, good mind, good body. These two things are very important. If you can control your mind, your body will act as per your mind. So, for that, we have to do some kind of activities to make your mind active and reactive and focus and refocus. How we can make our body work better and better. And for that, I have chosen yoga, because yoga is such a beautiful thing you can do to your life. From morning, getting up early, doing the Surya Pranam, and start your day with a holistic environment, believing that you have that zeal, you have that activeness to do something better, which should be recognized. and also it will be helping your mind to get focus, because mental health is very important. With yoga, people are helping to get good mental health. Focus helps people to think positive, think good for others, and the mind is something. If you can convince your mind, obviously your body will also work accordingly. So A to Z in yoga, this book have got complete yoga details which will be really helpful for the people at large, because as we know, yoga is now being recognized by the United Nations, and as we know, there are 100 and plus countries following yoga. In my book, if you go through, you'll come to know what are the different ways, to the way you can help yourself. So I've written yoga for the advocate, as well as I have written there's a yoga act. Many people don't know there are laws for yoga as well. You have to know the laws. So
That's
you can't.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Many people don't know there are laws for yoga as well. Even on the yoga day, as we commonly as an advocate of Supreme Court, we have celebrate yoga day. Even in Supreme Court, there is a yoga room where we can go and focus and do yoga practice. So that is really, really helpful. Even on other district courts and the high courts and all, everywhere, yoga is being done, and also in the government and central government offices also, you can find yoga being practiced. So that's why A to Z in yoga, it is really helping the body and mind. And with this book, it is really going to help a lot. And my third book, that is my recent book, that is Only for Men, Part 1. This book is something a eye opener. Now the fact was that I was never thought of writing a book on only for men. I'm not a male chauvinist. I consider female as my mother, sister, my would-be wife. I always look forward. India is a motherland. I always look forward. But this book is dedicated to the people who have survived from such misdeeds or who are still struggling, because the reason behind for writing this book was the case of Raja Raghuvanshi, who has become very famous in the country. So, because the thing is, there are cruelty against men in India. In the country, there is no law for men. So, as you know, there is a commission for National Commission for Women, but there is no National Commission for Men through government. Though there is some NGO, National Commission for Men, who are working to safeguard the protection of the rights of men from getting exploited by the fake cases filed by their wife on certain matters, not in all matters. There you can find there are lots of cruelty against men, and this book will be a helpful guide for them to get a better life. It is not against any gender, it is for the safeguard of a male gender. I've written this book, and it has been part 1. Hopefully, in coming years, we'll also get part
Part
2.
two.
So, this is a way, and the book will be a protection tool for the mankind. And here are written all the laws and all the cases, also legally how a man can get a safeguard from an unfaithful wife who is cheating on him. What are the steps he can take to get a divorce, to get the steps of getting a fake molestation cases? Because not, I respect all women, but there are few women who take women laws in a different way to blackmail some men in certain matters. For that matters only, I have written this book for a safeguard tool. And also for this book also, it has been recognized in many book fair, and most of my books has been recognized last year, as I mentioned, London Book Fair, as in Abu Dhabi International Book Fair, as well as Sinar Book Fair in the Jammu and Kashmir, as well as in Pune Book Fair. My books were being displayed, as well as Chandigarh Book Fair. And now it's a great privilege to to be here in the World Book Fair.
That's
And
great.
last year as International Calcutta Book Fair. Similarly, here also, this year also I'm expecting more in the upcoming book fairs for my history books.
That's great. Okay, so coming down to the next question. Your books mix law with everyday life. Why do you believe legal awareness is essential for ordinary citizens, not just professionals?
Law is a part of life. We cannot say law is if in law. Suppose in law there is a pace.
Hmm.
Ignorance of law cannot be an excuse. If you're born in your land, that is your motherland, the land where you earn your bread and butter, so you cannot ignore the law. You can't say ignorance of law can be an excuse. Never. Even the judiciary says ignorance of law cannot be an excuse. If I have to be a citizen of the country, I have got the right to vote, I have the right to choose the leader of the country, then also I have to abide by the laws. No doubt, we have got fundamental rights, but also we have got fundamental duties. They are also directed principle of state policy.
Hmm.
So we have to follow. Now, thing is that nowadays law courses are increasing. If I have to say, earlier, suppose 15 years, 20 years back, some students might not be interested in law,
Hmm.
but because of the increase of social media awareness,
Exactly.
nowadays everybody is aware of
A lot
law.
of awareness is
And
very
if
there.
they are not aware of law, they are taking consultation.
Hmm.
If I go to court and if I say I don't have a lawyer, there is also district legal service authority who will give you a free lawyer for the BPL, below poverty line people. And also, if you don't get a lawyer, there are also legal cell that will help you out with legal.
Law is for everyone.
Law is for everyone. So law is highly required.
Hmm.
And every day there is always law everywhere. You can't say I will break a law and I will get away. No,
Not
eyes are
possible.
upon you. There are lots of CCTV surveillance cameras upon you on the traffic signal. If you break a jump at red light, and if you think you will be going away, no,
It's not possible.
it will be followed by a CCTV everywhere nowadays is common. So law, as I've written on yoga, because many people, as you also didn't know that there's law for
Law
yoga
for,
as well.
yeah.
Environmental laws, we know because of the Green Tribunal, National Green Tribunal, National Tribunals are there. Moreover, laws for men. Laws of men are also very limited in the country.
True.
Country like Germany, Sweden are not a gender biased country.
Yeah.
Country India is a women biased country. There is no law for men.
Okay.
But law is there but with limited resources to safeguard their manhood, to safeguard their dignity, to safeguard their identity. Should not be get blackmailed. Right to life is for everyone. Should not be gender bias. So we should know the law of day-to-day life to survive in the competition world. In today's competitive world, if we don't know the law, and as I said, ignorance of law cannot be an excuse. You cannot get away. You will be punished. You have to pay the penalties. You have to pay the fines. You may have to go to jail behind bars for a certain period of time as specific by the law. So that's why I always believe law has become a part of life
Like,
on
truly.
day-to-day
Yeah.
basis.
So the next question. Across all the three books, you focus on responsibility towards the planet, the body, and society. Do you think modern systems are helping or failing individuals in this regard?
Look, the modern systems are technology based. I can't say that technology is not good. Obviously, we want advancement, we want development, we want betterment. I always believe three things, whatever I do. If not here, then when? If not now, then when? And then if not me, then who? So we have to take the responsibility within ourselves. We have to believe that I have to do it. I have to take the initiative. If he's not doing, let me give it a try. Maybe I can do it. And
It's all about
regarding
taking an initiative.
yes, exactly. We have to take the initiative first. Moreover, technology is there, but we have created this technology, human. So there can be chances of human errors. We can't completely depend on AI. We can't completely depend on technology. We cannot depend completely on robotics. because there might be some manufacturing defect, some system error,
Right.
some viruses may be there because there is now hacking is there. Even you can hack a robot, you can hack an AI system. Even the signals of the creditor can be hacked. Emails, WhatsApp, everything can be hacked.
Yeah.
So how you can be completely dependent on technology because nothing is 100% foolproof. That's the reason we need to be very much focused and always be self-belief on human base. No doubt there is always be chances of human error.
Rachel, इसका
So mistakes are the
वो
part of life.
cover.
Every day we make mistakes. I only think we should not repeat our same mistake.
You learn from it.
We should learn from the mistake and try not to repeat the same mistake. And try something new and better. We should learn from our mistakes. Should be our main
मेरी सैलरी वैसी कटी पड़ी है यार कमी
The
में
next question. If readers or listeners were to read just one chapter from each of your books, right, what kind of mindset shift would you want them to experience?
Look, the thing is that who is the reader? If I have to ask, first of all, a reader should be a learner. If I am a learner, I am going to adapt it. So that is a good reader. Because to be present in somewhere, you have to be first of all good listener. If you are a good listener, then you can be a good speaker. Similar, in the same motive or motto, we need to be a good reader first. To be a good reader, we have to accept the things. That learning spirit should be there. If I'm a good learner, I can be a good reader. And if I become a good reader, then I will take the things and try to adapt it. Adaptation is more important. Whether you read fiction books or non-fiction books doesn't make difference. The only difference is that how much knowledge you earn it. Because fiction, fantasies, people have got different way of thinking. Perceptions are always welcome. New ideas are always welcome. But importantly, whatever you learn, you should always have that creativity. Because fiction stories, you can't adapt in your day-to-day life. You
Yeah.
can't make it into reality.
Yeah.
You can't adapt that character. But in non-fiction things, you can learn and apply things. But obviously, fiction also help you to explore the world which you can't visit. Because I always love reading. Why I love reading? The important question.
You like
Because
to learn.
you can transport yourself to that place, to that scenario, through your imagination. If I have to think about London, so if I read a book on London, with the book, I get transport to that place through my imagination, with the photographs, with the vision, that what is happening, and I can imagine that place. Because I can't go to space, I can't go to Mars,
Yeah.
I can't go and stay in Antarctica. But if I read a book on Antarctica, if I read a book on Mars,
You can imagine.
obviously I can imagine, I
How-
can go to that place and can experience that through my imagination, through my creativity. But for that, you have to be a good learner first. Secondly, you have to read it and keep it a good memory. If you can't memorize the thing, it is a creative idea. Because the creative idea is important. If I see some books out here, I may forget some names. But if I see some photos, it will be in my mind. It will be present in my mind. And when next time I see that photo, I can recall it. So visual adaptation is very important. Creative thinking is very important after reading. And third is the adaptability on case-to-case basis. As on non-fiction books, you can adapt it, but in fiction books, it's hard to imagine.
Truly.
But it is
Yeah.
impossible to adapt in
Almost
all
there, yeah.
situations.
But still depends on your creative
You
imagination.
cannot